Hello there guys, you're listening to Ebird Online and I'm back with another review. I hope you're all well and I'm ready to deliver the very first of my videos for this week. And I'm going to start how I mean to go on. The Ebird will be showing very little mercy. In fact, let's just call a spade, no mercy. So today, we're going to talk about the still traumatised Amira and the one and only ultimatum giving Andrew. Just before I begin, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and make sure that you press the like button. And also, if you don't want to miss any of my videos, hit that notification bell. Come on guys, join the Ebird family. So many of you guys have more than likely seen Andrew taking potshots at Amira on social media. He seems to think that Mexico was all down to Amira and that she's out of order for blaming him. And today I'm going to unpick that fabrication strand by strand. So as we know, Amira landed in Mexico and she got detained for 3 days, and during that time Andrew barely lifted a finger to try and help her out. So as we know, Amira was deported and Andrew spent all his time since pondering, I hope nobody blames me. But alas, that's exactly what did happen. Everybody blamed Andrew and fans were calling him the biggest douchebag since Big Ed. And by fans, I mean me. And as you guys know, on the initial show, Andrew actually bragged, I've got an amazing idea. I've discovered that we can go to Mexico, quarantine for 14 days, and then enter the United States. It's a foolproof plan. I'm very, very good at working things out, and I'm very, very good at finding out information. Right, Andrew, as long as that information isn't, where's this 5'9" French bird that's gone missing from Mexico City Airport? As long as it's not that information, he's simply brilliant at finding information out. So when the fans blamed Andrew in their droves, Andrew came out all guns blazing on social media. And he released screenshots, which according to him, absolutely proved that Amira was in on the deal and that it was Amira's idea and that she wanted to do it. So Andrew actually says, choose who you want to believe. I've shown you the actual evidence in these texts. And it's laughable if you just want to ignore what is written on an official government document. My integrity is worth way more than a silly TV show. No need for fame, lip fillers or filters here. You'll have never met a real one like me. Or you can believe a fame-hungry liar who has every reason to be in lockstep to achieve that fame. All I ever did was support someone else's dream. My presence on your screen is even further proof of that. I honestly never wanted or needed this show. Haha. Keep that in mind when you decide who you believe. Yeah, I believe Amira, thanks. So basically in these texts, Andrew's saying, love you, just to be sure, it's our decision. Whether to wait or do Mexico. And Amira says, I'm waiting on next week, love you too, baby. Then further down she says, I will take entire responsibility of it in front of, and then he's covered over whatever that says. Who knows? And he said, I will respect whatever you choose. Andrew, do you think we're stupid? Just saying, I'll respect whatever you choose, means nothing if the very next day you're going to start blowing up at her or trying to put pressure on her to choose Mexico, which is what she alleged to her dad that you did. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit later in the video where it becomes very pertinent. As far as I'm concerned, what happens in this week's episode proves on the balance of probability that Andrew did indeed put pressure on Amira to go to Mexico. And at the end of the video, I'm going to break everything down for you. And so this week we saw a still traumatised Amira meeting up with her dad to let him know that she's planning to go to Serbia. And as you know, Andrew's got another crackpot scheme for her to go and quarantine somewhere for a couple of weeks, but this time he's not even gracing her with his presence. He wants her to do the whole 2 weeks alone in Serbia, and then she's going to fly to America to meet Andrew. So she sits down in her dad's office and her dad said, Amira, have you found a job yet? And Amira said, no, I don't look for a job, Madno. Oh, Papa. A job? Don't you know that Amira likes to talk about makeup, play with makeup, talk to her friends about makeup, read about makeup, and overline her lips with makeup? That's what Amira wants to do. That's what she's good at. She's not about to get a job anytime soon. But as it turns out, that's actually not the reason. She says the reason she's not thinking about getting a job is because she's on her way to Serbia. And her dad said, it's exactly the same story as Mexico. You're going to make the same mistake again. Why are you going to Serbia? And her dad tells production, there's a mafia in Serbia. They do not respect human rights. And I don't want her to go to Serbia. And Amira said, I feel like I should go. He makes sacrifices for me all of the time. Does he, Amira? Sacrifices? And the Ebird wonders just what sort of sacrifices Andrew makes. I've got it. It's animal sacrifices. That's it. That's it. Andrew makes animal sacrifices. There's a trail of dead cows all across South America. All of them have two things missing, their ribeye and their sirloin. Oh Oh my god guys, Andrew's buffoonery grows greater and greater as the weeks go by. He's done a litany of shadizzle that most people would have just finished with him for. 1. He didn't bother getting Amira from the detention centre. 2. He didn't even move from the holiday resort. 3. He didn't try at all to help Amira once she'd got out by saying maybe you need counselling, or even really talking over her experiences with her. He just told her about what a great time he was having on holiday and all the trips she was missing out on. And then 4, he's trying to convince Amira, her dad, the viewers, anybody that will listen that it wasn't my idea and none of this is my fault. Even Andrew, even if you say it was jointly our fault, we're jointly to blame, at least accept that. His only concern is if anybody's going to blame him. And then Amira's dad said, "You're my only daughter, you're my love, you're my life, I just don't want you to suffer." And Amira said, "My dad couldn't sleep when I was incarcerated, and now I am doing it again." Don't worry about that, Amira. Andrew slept for 2. He had 14 hours a night. I gotta tell you, he felt really refreshed when he got back home. But then things take a sinister turn and Papa tells Amira, "If you go to Serbia, I won't talk to you anymore." And Amira says, "I am heartbroken, I feel so torn, I'm in the middle." And it's very clear to me that Papa will always be talking to Amira, so I'm not going to discuss this in any depth. Next time we see this couple, they're FaceTiming, and Andrew's sitting there wearing his usual coffin-ready attire. And he's drinking his tea out of a mug with his ugly mug on it. What a narcissist. And then Andrew tells production, Amira told me of an ultimatum that her dad laid down. If there's anyone that can get between us, it's her dad. And guys, the way he said it, he actually said, here's an ultimatum that her dad laid down, as if to say, this time. Right, so what? Usually you're laying down the ultimatum. Interesting. For once you've been usurped because her dad's now laying it down too. Is that what you mean, Andrew? I think it is, guys. And like I said in a previous video, Andrew, if you'd have tried more with Amira's dad when you had the opportunity and before anything went wrong, you wouldn't have this fractious relationship with him now. And so Andrew tells us, "I've decided today to speak to an immigration lawyer." What? You haven't spoken to one previously? Oh my god. Now we know that Andrew's got quite a significant intellectual disability. And guys, he's saying it proudly. You're proud of being an idiot. You didn't speak to an immigration lawyer before your crackpot scheme to Mexico. You didn't speak to an immigration lawyer when your girlfriend was put in a Mexico City jail. He's finally done it, guys. Words fail me. Guys, when looking at Andrew, we're literally witnessing Darwinism play out. So they speak to the lawyer and Andrew explains to her the little that he knows about what happened to Amira. And he says, for some reason, she was detained. And the lawyer asks Amira, what did you say when you got to Mexico? And Amira said, I told them that I was going to meet my fiancé and we would be in quarantine. Oh, come on, Amira. She never gives a fulsome answer, does she? She never gives you all of the info that you need. What else did you say? You didn't just say 2 things, did you? Did you tell them that you had an ongoing ticket to the US? That's a key question as far as I'm concerned. And I'd also go as far as to say, Amira, why did you even mention we're coming here to quarantine? Why not just say we're going on holiday for 2 weeks and then I'm going to America? Point me to the margaritas. Mentioning the word quarantine was never going to go down well, now was it? And then the lawyer said, well, it must be really clear that it's a vacation. Maybe you didn't make that clear. And then did you make it clear you were going on to the US? I think the way that you made it sound was quite suspicious. And Andrew said, I'm blown away by the information that you've given me. I'm so grateful. And then Amira said, if my visa expires, can it be extended? And the lawyer said, you would have excellent grounds to extend your visa because this whole issue is not of your making. So I think it's likely your visa could be reissued. And Andrew got rid of the lawyer, toot sweet. And then he said to producers, in the weirdest segment of all time, and he said, the lawyer is actually validating my views that this plan does work. She's given me a lot of confidence. What? All the lawyer said is, it is working for some people. She said nothing specifically about Serbia. And Andrew, you've already tried this and failed once. There's already a stamp in Amira's passport which no doubt says she was denied entry just a few weeks ago and you now want her to go to lawless Serbia. Andrew is actually restricting my right to free speech. I fear I might be arrested if I were to say what I wanted to say about this man. Or at least cancelled. I hear that's quite popular these days. And so as soon as the lawyer was gone, Andrew said to Amira, so, it's a 2-hour flight, what do you think? And Amira said, well, I want to wait to get the visa reissued. And Andrew said, baby, but we have to wait until the embassy opens. If you don't want to go to Serbia, you don't have to go. And Amira said, I don't believe you. You will say it's my fault. And Andrew said, I'll call the embassy tomorrow. And Amira said, you said the same with Mexico. And I said I was scared. And I know that you'll resent me. I am scared that history will repeat itself. I'm literally telling you that reissuing the visa is fine. Yet you sit over there and you squirm. And you want to bring up the Mexico thing and try to blame that all on me. There's nothing I could say that would comfort you here. Andrew, try, you'll never ever see or hear from me again. That might be of comfort to her. Guys, I do not know what to do with this boy. Andrew, you have millions of brain cells. It would be nice if you used just one, once in a while. So Andrew's saying, I'm literally telling you, the visa's fine. Andrew, don't tell me shit. You don't know anything. You're an idiot. That much we know. That's been clarified on numerous occasions over a long period of time. You're a full-time fool. But guys, did you see the attitude on him? He said, yet you sit over there and squirm. And you're trying to blame me for Mexico. Yes, it was your idea and you said so yourself when you were busy bragging to producers on 90 Day Fiancé. But let's imagine just for a moment that it was all Amira's idea and Andrew stole the idea for himself. Amira's now been incarcerated. When she was there, she didn't know when she was able to leave and she didn't know what her status was. She was scared witless, so to ask her to do it again within a couple of weeks is a lot to ask any human being. Andrew, did God create you without compassion? He must have done. And so guys, as we saw on that text earlier, Andrew said something like, just to clarify, it's both of our decision to go to Mexico. Why would you need to clarify that if, as you say, it was her idea? Of course it wasn't, Andrew. It was your idea. No two people have an idea at the same time. It's very, very unlikely. One person has the idea and they tell it to the other person. So either it was Amira's idea, lock, stock and barrel, or it was your idea. You've already told us yourself from your own lips that it was your idea, but you're expecting us to ignore what you yourself has told us and to look at a very easy to fake screenshot with you saying, can I clarify just for the record? The only time one needs to clarify things, or the only time you need to say just for the record, is if you've had a lifetime of plans going awry and calamitous fuck-ups being made. And you know at some later point you're going to need to find some other sop to blame it on. Andrew, just admit it. You made out that you'd done more research than you had. You made out that you knew more than you did. For a long time I just thought you were simply inept at finding information out, a nincompoop, a village idiot. But I realise there's much more to it. I actually think the reason you didn't try to find out properly where Amira was because you didn't want to know, because if you did know, you would have had to go out into scary, scary Mexico, like a man would, and find her. And then Amira said, I'm scared. And Andrew said, you're acting like I'm not sensitive to that, baby. And she said, you should reassure me and not get mad at me. And Andrew said, I'm frustrated. Listen, I'm just going to do whatever. You contact me if you want to go to Serbia. If not, then that's good too. I love you, baby. And I hope you'll contact me with a resolution. Right, so she's got to contact you with a resolution. She's got a resolution, Andrew. The resolution is that you contact the embassy and you try and get an extension on your visa. That's what she wants to do. What I think you want to do, mon petit cheapskate, is to make sure that you don't incur even 1 penny more in fees. I think the whole thing comes down to a financial issue for Andrew. Like I say, ladies, just wait till Amira takes him for a walk round in Sephora. He's literally going to vomit out his last 3 steaks. So what does the Ebird make from all of this? I think Andrew is quite tacitly putting on pressure to Amira for her to do the Serbia trip. You can tell she doesn't want to, but I think there's a very good chance she's going to end up doing it, just because that's what Andrew wants. Now let's go back to the start. Maybe it was a joint decision about Mexico. Maybe it was, who knows? However, Andrew did nothing to try and get her out and nothing to try and pacify her after the effect. So therefore, she now doesn't want to do Serbia. I don't know why he finds that difficult to understand. And you could definitely see the pressure he was putting onto Amira. Even when he was talking to her, at the end he said, Well, I'm just going to wait for you to call me to let me know if you want to go to Serbia. He didn't say if you want me to reissue the visa. He said, I will literally get on the phone to the embassy tomorrow. Why don't you call her tomorrow then, with whatever it is that the embassy say? Why is it that you're waiting until she's made a decision on Serbia? You are pressurising her, and you're quite a sinister character, Andrew. You really are. Having said that, Amira, you are not blameless. People only get you to do what you allow them. Now, I admit the Ebird was totally suckered in by Andrew in the first instance. I thought he knew what he was talking about. I thought the Mexico plan sounded great, sounded ingenious, sounded easy in fact. However, neither one of you dotted your I's or crossed your T's. If you had have done, I believe you'd be in America now. I believe, Amira, that when you went to Mexico, you just said, oh, I'm waiting to see my fiancé and then we go to America. I'm going to quarantine. There was no need to say quarantining. That's a flash word, that's a red word, that's something we don't want to hear in the middle of a global pandemic. You just say, I'm coming on holiday and then I'm going to travel back to America. I'll be gone in 2 weeks and you'll never see me again. That is all you needed to say. But to be quite honest, if it were me, I would have bought a return ticket because I think then they wouldn't have even asked you any questions. I've flown all over the world and the only times I have problems are when I do something like fly into New York and then fly to Barbados. Then people start looking at why I'm travelling and so on and so forth. It has to be really clear, how are you leaving my country before you go anywhere? That's what everybody wants to know. Lovely to have you here, but you must make sure you leave, and in a timely manner. And then finally, Andrew's trying to pour scorn on Amira, saying you can either believe the word of someone who has lip fillers, or you can believe an official government document. Without being too rude to Mexico, when that official government document says no passport, and I know very well you cannot leave the EU without a passport, I know that they're chatting shit. So that document was incorrect, and we all know it. And also, if Amira has got lip fillers, good for her, because overlining her lips was not working. And also, what is it you're saying about people with lip fillers? Are people with filled lips liars? I, for one, am quite pleased she's got her lips filled finally. So guys, let me know what you think. Do you think Andrew's just a tightwad and that's why he doesn't want to risk the reissuance of the visa? And also, do you feel that Amira is at all culpable? Is she letting Andrew walk over her? It kind of seems to me as if she is a little bit. They don't seem to be on great terms at the moment, so I'm looking very forward to find out if she ever got to the US, and if she did, what went wrong, because seemingly something did. Right, that's everything from me. If you haven't done so, please guys, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, press that big red button, make Ebird a very happy Ebird. I will see you soon. Thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate it, and I bid you all good day.